Already watched my Genealogy 201 video about Findagrave? Here's an advanced tip to determine the quality of data from a Findagrave memorial by examining the memorial's creator. I'm Mike O'Neill, and I'm a big data professional and amateur genealogist who has made tons of mistakes since I picked up genealogy as a hobby in 2011. I want to help you avoid some of my screw-ups. In my Findagrave Genealogy 201 video, I recommended you only consider information inscribed on a gravestone as fact, since you can't know the source of any of the other information on the memorial. Unfortunately, a lot of Findagrave memorials don't have pictures of gravestone, but there is a way to assess the reliability of such a record, and that's by taking a hard look at how data is added to Findagrave. Findagrave is probably the largest crowdsourced genealogy tool out there. What do I mean by crowdsourced? It means a huge crowd of people contributed to its creation. In this case, completely as volunteers. Of course, every crowd is made up of individuals, and when you encounter a record without a gravestone, you can try to assess the validity of the memorial by looking at the person who created it. Now, think about who Findagrave users are. The simplest are family researchers. They're looking for information about their ancestors, and these users leave almost no footprint on Findagrave. There are also casual contributors, such as myself, who update the memorials of people in their family tree. Finally, there are the cemetery transcribers. This small group of Findagrave power users consider it an enjoyable hobby to transcribe all the graves from cemeteries close to them, and they are what make Findagrave such an amazing resource. If I find a user who has made so many contributions from a particular cemetery, I begin to believe they weren't documenting their family. They were documenting the cemetery itself. And that means all they know about each deceased is what was written on that gravestone and or what's documented in the cemetery's register. Take Bernard Joseph Doherty, who is buried in Holy Cross Cemetery just outside Philadelphia. Now, there's no photo of a tombstone on this memorial, and the information is really basic. It's just a name, date of death, and the cemetery. Bernard's memorial was created by the user F. Priam, and when I look at this user's profile, I see a whopping 43,000 memorials added. That's a lot. There is no way that F. Priam is related to all of those memorials. This user must have a passion for transcribing gravestones, and a note they added to their own profile professes a love for genealogy and shows that F. Priam is an active and passionate member of the Findagrave community. This makes me feel pretty confident that F. Priam is recording just the facts on Bernard's memorial, and that I can rely on what's there. That said, other users can contribute additional information to these entries, and there's no way to look at what's changed over time. Consider the memorial for Helen Haggerty, formerly Humphreys, that was created by the user So Little Time. This user has added nearly 8,000 memorials, most from Chicago and Philadelphia area cemeteries. But someone, in this case me, suggested some changes to the memorial at some point, including listing Ellen's mother's maiden name, Meehan. Now, I speak from experience when saying that Mary Humphrey's maiden name didn't appear in any records relating to Ellen's death. It took me months to figure out Mary's maiden name. But just looking at a Findagrave memorial, you would have no idea of my source and whether it was reliable. In other words, a simple memorial created by a Findagrave power user is a pretty safe bet.